Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Poor Man's Bonsai. Today I'm just going to do a quick update on this plant. This was part of a video I did last year where I sort of showed 4 different examples of how to start the bonsai process with some elephant bush succulents, and so I'll include that video here so that you could go and check that out. But this is one of those plants that I started turning into a cascade style or semi-cascade style, as you can see, sort of coming out the side of the plant. So it's been quite some time since I've done an update on this plant, so I thought I would just do a quick update on this. It still has the wire on it, so I'm going to take the wire off and just sort of trim it up a little bit and see how it looks after we're done here. So let's get in a little closer and take a look. Alright, we're losing light pretty fast here, so I'm going to try to work pretty quickly. But as you saw in some of those close-ups, I've been letting it kind of get a little carried away here and up on top here, and I haven't touched the wiring since I first did it. So hopefully I haven't run into any issues where it's digging into the flesh or the bark of the tree, but we'll find out right now. But I think what I'm first going to do is, before I start wiring, is just do some quick trimming. So I already know right away I want to take this guy off. So the goal with that I have with these Cascade ones is that I want the plant to put in a lot more energy towards what's going down below the rim of the pot. But if I keep this as it sort of is right now, which is more of a semi-cascade, what I'm going to kind of do then is develop some foliage here as well as below the rim of the pot, so that it's exactly that semi-cascade, part of it below the rim of the pot and part of it above. So it's sort of what it's become for the time being, but I think it looks pretty cool. So now, I don't know if you can see this in here, but I'll bring it a little closer and get it in focus. But you can see there's a branch down below. It's right there. It's growing down below the inside of the rim of the pot. So I think I'm actually going to cut that off, because although it's developing out here, some of this foliage belongs to it. Because it's developing out there, I do think it's sort of I think that it's not super helpful to the plant. So I mean, unless what I did is I kept it there, and then on the next, when I repot this, I pull the whole plant closer to this edge, then this branch could come out to the outside. But I feel like I need to make a difficult decision here, and I might end up just trimming it off. And yeah, I think I'm going to make the decision to do it. Ooh, let me make sure I'm in focus here. Alright, sorry, I had to pause it because I wanted to make sure I was in focus, but I think I am going to trim this branch off here because it's not contributing much right now. So, cool thing is I could turn this into another cutting, but you can see that opened up so much space now. This whole area was covered by this foliage like this. So now that I've cut it away, you could really see the main trunk coming down here. So I think it's good that I did that. Let's trim a few more little ones, and I think it's developing pretty good. I think we're starting to get some branch structure up here, and then as well as down here. So let's trim a little bit of these back. And I'm losing light fast. I'm really good at starting videos right when it's getting dark. It's a skill of mine. And obviously not a good thing, because then I run out of light and then I'm frantically trying to finish the process. So, all right, so let me just get the camera in a little closer now, and we'll start undoing the wiring. So at this point, the shape of the main trunk should be pretty well established to where once I take off the wire, it should hang down below the rim of the pot without the wire. So I'm gonna start just unwinding this and see what we have. Now right away, I can see a little bit of indentation in the bark, but I think I'm taking it off soon enough to where it's not going to cause real lasting damage. But I was super curious what this would do, because on a lot of succulents the bark is a lot softer, and the flesh, the meat on the branches is a lot softer in general. So I was really curious how it was going to handle being wired, but not too bad, I don't think. We're getting down to the end here. All right, so there we go. It looks like it wants to do its thing for the most part, and yeah. So what I'll do is I'll get some shots where it's zoomed out a little bit again, and then you can sort of see the whole thing, and we could sort of see how it's doing so far in the process of becoming a Cascade or semi-Cascade. And I don't know if you noticed earlier, but the roots are so cool on this thing. So that's probably my favorite feature so far, is this section here. It's just super, the roots are very exaggerated, or very might have mentioned, it reminds me of like a hand or something in the dirt, like. It's so, love how that looks. And yeah, let's do some close-ups and see how this thing looks like now. So I wanted to show a close-up here just of the bark, and you can see there's very little damage from the wire. You can see a little bit of indentation from it, but it's not too bad, and I think that's good. If I had left it on for another year, I bet you it would have really dug in. But I'll kind of see how the plant responds to being off the wire, and if I need to rewire it again, I will. But for now, I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to talk a little bit while I'm spinning this Lazy Susan around. As I was mentioning, the roots are looking good. I'm starting to get some shape going on the top here. I have two main branches right here and here that are contributing to this shape. I wonder if eventually one of these will have to go. I'm not sure, but as you can see, the plant is holding its Cascade shape. Now in the future, what I'm really going to start focusing the development on is these branches, and right now they kind of just look like they're sort of just, each one is sort of just doing its own thing. But what I need to start doing is start developing some of these leaves that are pointed down. I want to start getting them to where the branches are real flat underneath, and it's real distinct pads, because right now it just sort of looks, I don't know, these parts just to me look really underdeveloped, and they don't seem to be doing much to give it the Cascade look. But overall, we're getting there with the shape going down over the edge of the pot and down below. So I think it's getting there, and I think it'll look good after a while. Maybe this year in particular, I could fertilize a lot and really start getting a lot of development. And I've mentioned it before, I love that with Cascades, they often have a deep pot, which I think will give more nutrients to the plant rather than being in a shallow pot. So we'll see how this thing develops over this year.